Hi, Jason Shadrick here for GuitarEdge.com, and we are at the Guitar Town Festival in Copper Mountain, Colorado with Bryan Sutton here, who's going to be playing this afternoon. Welcome, Bryan. Thanks for taking the time to spend a few minutes with us.
Sure, thanks. Thanks for having me.
So your last album is called Almost Live. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how that album kind of came together and what was kind of your concept for that album?
All right. Yeah, the concept sort of revolved around a lot of the opportunities that I've had over the last 5 or 6 years that I've had to play different live gigs, live bands, or tours with different artists. I'm mainly a side man, side artist for a lot of different sort of factions that, little bands that go out and tour. And I don't really commit at this point to one particular, either me as an artist or a band like that. So I've spent a lot of time over the last 5 or 6 years just touring around with a lot of different people. And during all that time writing songs and arranging songs. And a lot of that stuff would never have gotten recorded because it sort of existed just for a particular tour or just for a particular string of shows or something like that. And so the Almost Live concept came out of, I had all this batch of music that was, just sort of laying there, and me sort of being the common thread between all these different acts that I'd been out there with and all this music that was kind of just sort of existing out there, decided to sort of try to put it all together in this record. And I couldn't do necessarily a live record with everybody that's on there, so it's almost live. But it's basically music that was created for different live circumstances that I find myself in.
And I saw on your website you're going to have an upcoming duo tour with Tim O'Brien. How'd that come about?
I've been playing with Tim quite a while in various sort of situations of trios, and then he and I are in the band Hot Rise, which is also going out on the road back in this year, late October, early November. And Tim and I have a tour starting on October 1st, I think. And it was just something, we just talked about doing it. He's always sort of looking for different things to do, and so am I. It's one of the great things of this sort of bluegrass community. Different artists, we enjoy each other's music and each other's company, and it's sort of a privilege to not have to just do one thing all the time. It's part of what keeps bluegrass kind of exciting for the musicians and the fans, is to see different combinations of people playing, a lot like jazz, when different, people will sort of branch out and do little side projects. And so this tour exists as another one of those kind of things.
Cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the guitar you brought with you on this trip.
This guitar here is a 1948 Martin D28. And it's pretty standard D28. It was a right-handed originally, and then somebody sometime in its past converted it to a left-handed guitar and put the other pickguard on it. And you see that from time to time, some of these things. And then it was converted back to right-handed before I got it. And it's pretty good. It's got a really great neck. A lot of these old Martins, just the way the finishes have kind of worn on the back of the neck, feels really great to my hand at least. And it's a good working guitar. It records great. I do a lot of session stuff in Nashville, so I'm always looking for guitars that I can use live and use in the studio. And sometimes, especially with Martins, it's hard to find a guitar that's voiced, has the mid-range that's good for both, and this one certainly has it.
Cool. Why don't you go ahead and play us out with a tune here?
All right. Here's a little bit of the title, or not the title, but the opening cut on the Almost Live, called Morning Top.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Bryan. This is Jason Shadrick for GuitarEdge.com, live from the Guitar Town Festival at Copper Mountain, Colorado.